It's a beautiful week again, right on this frequency where we give you the absolute best in the ever exciting world of sport. My name is Brownson, and for all stakers, it was a weekend to remember, especially last Sunday, where all the big guns lost. And of course, bookmakers smiled to the bank. But this week is international break. We'll be seeing our national teams playing World Cup qualifiers in Africa, in Europe, in Asia, all part of the continent. We'll be giving you especially some fixtures in Africa on the program today. Lots of things to talk about. Super Eagles absolutely buzzing. And of course, a lot of things. There are questions about the resumption of Nigerian Professional Football League. Has any date been fixed? Find out after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. My strike partner, Kunle Philip, joins me at this time. Kunle, good time on the program.
Top of the day to you, Brownson. It's good to be back to talk sports. And just like you said, it was a week of last week was full of excitement because you can see that most of the top teams actually lost in their various clubs, and it was funny. For stakers, it was a loss for them because most of them would have actually predicted that some of those top teams, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona,
PSG,
of
the same weekend that PSG lost, Bayern lost. You have also Real Madrid
and
also
lost.
Ajax of all people.
Ajax also lost.
So even think of, for stakers, the odds were about 1.09. It wasn't up to, it was crazy.
Even for Bayern Munich, I think that nobody would have actually saw that. Nobody saw that coming against Frankfurt. The team, they have been beaten by as many as 5-0 in the last 2 seasons or so. The last 2 visits of Frankfurt ended in about 5-0 beating. Happening at the Allianz Arena, I think it was indeed a big shock.
I must tell you that, Kunle, this kind of season comes, this kind of weekend, like last weekend, like all we had, comes twice every season.
Absolutely.
So we've had one now. So for stakers, pray for your eye to be open. So that when the other one comes. But since we started in Europe, let's stick in Europe. And let's do a quick roundup of what happened in England because this is an international break. Yeah. But in England, let's talk about Manchester City and Liverpool. We saw a beautiful game of football, and Brentford is showing that they've got all it takes to stay in the league. Now, Chelsea, Champions League game wasn't very fantastic. They came back to the league. They just,
they lost one
it's looking like reality check is beginning to come on some of these clubs. As a matter of fact, Watford even sacked their manager. We are even hearing Claudio RANIERI is around the corner. So England is really buzzing right now.
England buzzing, absolutely. It was full of excitement. I think that if you talk about one of the best games I've seen this season, it has to be Manchester United, Manchester City versus Liverpool game. It was full of excitement, full of thrills. Both teams coming out at one another, and this is where you see when the best plays. And I tell you, both teams really showed intent, they showed desire, they showed zeal, they showed enthusiasm to go all out to win the league this season. But yes, 2-2 getting the share of the spoil for both teams was really very good. I think that both teams deserve exactly what they got. But Chelsea, after losing to Manchester City, they were able to bounce back against Southampton. It was quite a difficult game for them, but they were able to get the needed result, grind out the result, and that is what you get to see when even on your bad day, being ability to be able to grind out the result is what really matters.
They left it really late.
Left it late. A fantastic one for them, and then by virtue of that win, they stand top of the table, as we speak. For Manchester United, Brownson, we spoke about them the other day. That despite having all the players at their disposal, despite all the signings, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still not able to get the best out of the players. And I think that some people are even saying they're on the verge of signing 1 or 2 players again. I begin to wonder where you are the luxury.
How many more will you sign? This same coach signed Sancho, and we still don't see what he's doing with Sancho.
He's doing with Sancho.
So in my opinion, I think even if you bring Lewandowski, who is like the best striker right now on planet Earth, to Manchester United, and then you bring Messi, the best player, you bring in Haaland, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still would not. So I think sometimes you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, you can't give what you don't have, and the draw against Everton really exposed the team. It was a disappointing one. They don't have any reason to play out draws against a team like Everton with the array of stars at their disposal. I think tactically they are getting it wrong. In terms of personnel, they have it in abundance, but tactically, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not have the acumen to really take Manchester United to greater heights. And I think that caution really needs to be taken. I think the management of Manchester United really need to take caution, because if the team continues to play like this, and probably they think about sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the latter part of the season, by that time I think it will be too late
for them to fight for title.
To really fight for title, and of course for any silverware. I really don't see the team with the way they are playing winning anything this season.
I think it's a good time.
Solskjaer is still in charge.
I think it's a very good time for them to really think twice before December rush, because if United cannot play well at this point, I wonder how they'll fare when December rush, where you need to play like four games in a week. It's going to be a very difficult time for them. Now let's go straight to La Liga. La Liga also is very interesting at this time. Now last weekend we saw FC Barcelona and Real Madrid losing in the same weekend, but Atletico Madrid looks like they are getting it right this time.
Yeah, they're getting it right. I think I'm really very excited. I'm happy for one particular player, the one who got the one of
Suarez, right?
Suarez. It was really very excited. It was delighted. I remember when they won the league last season.
He should have celebrated the goal.
Yeah, he didn't celebrate. I think someone said he actually put the hand on his head, and like someone said it was because when the coach of Barcelona when he became the man in charge of the team, he extended a call to him and told him that you are not needed in the team. I think that you won't be a part of my team. So what happened, what transpired between them still hits him hard, still haunts him one way or the other. I think that I'm really very excited for him. You saw the way he cried when the team Atletico Madrid won the league last season. I think that both teams are talking about the two top teams, other top teams, talking about Barcelona and Real Madrid. Really, the season hasn't really been too good for them. For Barcelona, I think if they continue in this manner, I really don't see them winning anything. But I think for Real Madrid, they've been a bit inconsistent. But for Atletico Madrid, they are really getting their mojos right. If things continue the way it is, then nothing stops them from retaining the title again.
That was look like right now that they might just retain that title. But I mean, in football, it's early days. I think Madrid are really fighting for this one. They had just one bad game last weekend. Let's see how they bounce back from that. Now let's move to Serie A, where it is absolutely buzzing. Our man Victor Osimhen is on fire, and Napoli. Right now they are invincible in the league. They've played 6 games, 6 wins, and all the goals coming. Osimhen did score last weekend, but of course, the sight of that man in the pitch is scared to any defender right now in Italy.
Yeah, it did his very best against Fiorentina. That's why the fact that the team were down by a lone goal at some point, they had to come back, and he also he was the one who created a penalty opportunity for them. And when you look at the way he has played this season, you agree with me that he's really the man to watch, and almost all the coaches and of course the players are talking about him, his prospect and all of that. But for SSC Napoli, Brownson, where my reservation is the fact that most of the time, I remember over 3-4 seasons ago, they were top of the league, and then all of a sudden they capitulated. The old ladies came in and they won it. This happening. It has happened in almost 2-3 seasons or thereabout now. But the good thing right now is the fact that the old ladies talking about Juve are not doing well in the league right now.
It's only Inter that is working. And also, they also have a Spalletti on the sideline who is very experienced. That might also be a plus for them.
Yeah, it is going to be a plus for them, and you can see that they are carrying out their duties professionally, and they are turning out wins. I think this is one of the best period. We will say that this is one of their best starts ever I've seen in a very long time. I think that if they continue in this momentum, considering the fact that Juve are not there to give them any issue right now, any problem. Inter Milan are the only team that are really competing. Of course, they are really
pushing for the title.
Pushing for the title as we speak. So I think if they continue in their rich vein of form, I see them winning the league at the end.
That's what it is. The league is still far away, but I really want to see me to be part of that league. Now, before we take this break, let me do a quick rundown of what happened in Bundesliga. I think it was just a straight jacket weekend where Bayern lost, but of course, Dortmund shows that they've got all it takes to closing the gap. And in Ligue 1, now with the likes of Messi, you have the Neymar, you have Mbappe, Angel Di Maria, and at some point they brought in like all their very best on the pitch, but yet they couldn't get it past runs. And it was a very sad moment for their coach as well. But they got Harris of stars. They have all it takes after international break. Just maybe they'll bounce back very strong. Let's take a very quick break at this point. When we come back, more stories to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, this is International Window, where we get to see our darling players represent their country all around the world, and Nigeria is not left out. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will be involved in a double-header World Cup qualifying game, and it's going to be a very cracking one. Now, on Thursday this week, Teslim Balogun Stadium will be on standstill, and Surulere will be on lockdown. You know what that is if you're driving around Lagos. It will be on lockdown this Thursday, and of course, now, on the 9th of October as well, we'll be playing the return leg away from home. It's going to be a very, very cracking game. But before we look at that game proper, let's look at the invited players. Because sometimes when you look at the players, it gives you confidence of what to expect in this game. And the goalkeeping position, we have Francis Uzoho, of course, who's made his return, but yet to be seen if Maduka Okoye, who is also in this list, would be dropped for him. And the goalkeeping, we also have Daniel Akpeyi, who is doing very well in the South African League. Must give him credit for what he's doing so far. Defense line, William Troost Ekong, of course, their coach just got fired from Watford. But of course, he'll be coming with lots of confidence, even though they lost their last league game. Leon Balogun from Rangers in England, Kenneth Omeruo, Olaino played last weekend in Italy. Chidozie Awaziem, Jamilu Collins, Shehu Abdullahi, Kelvin Akpoguma, and of course Calvin Bassi, part of that league. And for me, I think Tyrone Boy is missing this league. I think after the injury that this guy picked up in one of those qualifying series, he's not been very opportune to break into that team again. But why I like Tyrone Boy is what he brings into the team. He supports the attack, he returns very well. When he's playing for Nigeria, you are 80% sure Nigeria will always get the edge.
Well, yes, you are very right, Brownson, because he supports the attack more and also very solid in the defense. I think that's the hallmark of a very fantastic defender. But when you look at the fact that some other players are there as well whom he has to compete with, I think it's been not too good for him, talking about injury, because for a very lengthy period he was injured, and by virtue of that, he doesn't really even have a position right now. He has not been able to stamp his authority in the heart of the defense of the Eagles.
He's not been given much playing time, Kunle.
I quite agree with you on that. The coaches have their favorites. They have the players that they actually like. I think for Tyrone Eboué, it's been so unfortunate. But when you also look at the fact that he has to prove that he's the best in that position when playing for the club side, I think that's also very important. For players like Kenneth Omeruo, who can play as a central defender and also play from the right back. We have Chigozie Awaziem, who plays in the Turkish league, and he's been putting up commanding performances for his club. And so many other players are there. There's Jamilu Collins as well. These are players that can play as from the right fullback, also play from the left fullback. So I will not want to fault Genotro on this decision. Because you know, you have
it's a matter of
those
preference.
players that you prefer to
But
work with.
I mean, I must say that the good thing that we have lots of good players right now struggling. Some are even trying to change their nationality to Nigeria. But I mean, managing these big guys will always be headache. On the midfield position, we have Joe Aribo is doing very well for Rangers right now. Alex Iwobi, Frank Onyeka, and of course we have Innocent Bonke. On forward line, we have Smoking Hot Victor Osimhen. I mean, fantastic guy, doing all the best right now. I think he's the best striker we have in Nigeria right now. Victor Osimhen in that squad. Ahmed Musa, when Ahmed Musa didn't have a club, we were behind him, but we hope that all the support that Nigeria gave him, he would repay again with all this invitation he's getting to the Super Eagles. Kelechi Iheanacho is part of that team. Paul Onuachu is smoking hot as well this season. He's part of that team. Moses Simon, Samuel Kalu, and of course, Chidera Ejuke. Now, these are the guys that will prosecute these two games. Now, there was a player that got injured, and he has been replaced with AWONIYI. So, AWONIYI is also part of the front line we'll be seeing in this game.
Yeah, Terence Murphy got injured last week, and then we have TAIWO AWONIYI red hot. TAIWO AWONIYI last week he bagged a brace for his club against Mainz, and you know, it's been that should be his six goals. 6 goals in 8 appearances for the team. Is one of the hottest strikers we have in Nigeria. Talking about players applying their trade outside the shores of the country, and then let's not also forget other players in the heart of the attack for the Eagles. You have Victor Osimhen, who has already bagged in 4 goals for SSC Napoli this season. You have this Belgian guy, the most valuable player in the Belgian league right now. Paul Onuachu, who also has scored about 10 goals so far this season. Brownson, we have my reservation right now. Where I feel that we really need to work on is the midfield. We don't really have a creative midfielder right now in the Super Eagles. I think that was why the coach really wanted Eberechi Eze. He told the NFF to do everything within their capability to ensure that he switches allegiance to Nigeria. But the young man said he would prefer to don the green, to don the jersey of
the 3 Lions.
Of the 3 Lions. So I think that is where we're having issues right now. The defense is solid, the attack absolutely. We've got classical players in that department, but the midfield, yes, Malmo, where we have Innocent Bonke, who has been drafted in after putting up a good performance in the last game against Cape Verde. He really did very well in the game, and then he's playing week in, week out for Malmo, and playing in the UEFA Champions League as well. But this cannot be, we can't really say, yes, it's good defensively, but supporting the attack is where we have the challenge. Joe Aribo is also there defending, but I think for
Joe Aribo is also attack-minded.
Yeah, for Joe Aribo, yes, he's been playing, he's been scoring a couple of goals for Rangers in the Scottish League, but for the national team, he plays more as a defensive midfielder himself, and Wilfred Ndidi. They don't really offer much going forward. They don't really have that defense splitting passes. I think that the coach, and of course we really need to search for a creative midfielder in the mode of John Mikel Obi. Mikel, back in his days, can play as a defensive midfielder and can also spring passes as a 10. Same with the legendary Austin JJ Okocha.
Yeah, definitely. I've missed those level of quality on the national team. But let's look at the game proper. Now, this Thursday we'll be playing Central African Republic. Teslim Balogun Stadium is the venue. Now, next week as well, we'll be having return leg yet with the same team, Central African Republic. Now, on the other side, we'll have Libya taking on Cape Verde Island same day as Nigeria, and also the return leg will have the other way around, where Liberia takes on Cape Verde Island.
Yeah, it's going to be very massive. It's going to be very exciting. Nigeria versus Cape Verde. Central African Republic, I beg your pardon. We have 2 wins in 2 games. Remember that we defeated Liberia here by 2 goals to nothing, and we went away to Cape
Verde and get all important win.
All important 3, despite missing about 8 of our starters, in the game. Yeah, against Central African Republic, what do you expect? It's going to be the Super Eagles getting the victory. It will be a shocker if the game ends in a draw. But let's not forget what happened against Sierra Leone in the AFCON qualifiers, where we were leading by 4 goals to nothing right here in Nigeria, and then the Sierra Leoneans came back, and then they got in 4 goals. Put 4 goals past Nigeria, and the game ended in a 4-all draw. So complacency shouldn't set in terms of pedigree, in terms of players. We have it far above the Central African and considering the fact that the team hasn't won a game this season, this
qualifying
season
series,
started, they've only been able to amass, I think, 2 points from the group. So I think that it's going to be a victory for Nigeria. It will be a shocker if we don't score as many as 3 goals.
So if you're able to get the double header, that would be like
Brownson, that would be 12 points. The interesting thing for Nigeria is the fact that the second leg that will be played next week is going to be played in Douala in Cameroon. So it looks like
a home game for us.
A home game for Nigeria, considering the fact that Cameroon is very close to Nigeria. So I'm predicting that Nigeria cut away with the 6 maximum points in the 2 games, and then we'll be home and dry. The last game against Liberia in Monrovia will just be inconsequential.
Yeah, let's. I mean, dreams. When we analyze like this, it makes it very sweet. We really hope that things can turn out the way it does. But quickly, I mean, time's fat spent on the show. But Kunle, Nigeria Professional Football League, as it was wrapped up some months ago. And as we stand, we are not talking. South Africa has resumed. All major leagues in Africa has resumed. Nigeria has a way of when we shut down our leagues, we don't know when we come back again. What's the situation? It's
disappointing. It's really very, very sad one, because I think that it all boils down to personnel, the individuals, men that are saddled with the responsibility of handling the league. The league has been suffering over the years, and when you ask these men, they will tell you they are putting in their best, and I think their best hasn't been good enough, because yes, even right now in Africa, Nigerian league is ranked in the probably
don't say I mean 10 words. If we are 10, it should be privileged, because there's no basis for us being in one of the top 10 league in Africa.
Yes,
really.
I can't even remember the last time we got to most of the time we get knocked out in the first, second round of the CAF Champions League, and it's really it makes one sad because you don't expect to see a Nigerian team. The last time a Nigerian club won the CAF Champions League was with Enyimba. I think 2001, 2002 or
that was a long time ago.
The league has been. They came out the other time to tell us that they're going to be starting. League was going to be starting in October, because they want the calendar to tally with that of CAF, and because when the CAF competitions begins, that is when they will also want to start the league. But right now, the CAF tournament has begun, and the league, we don't know when it's going to start.
Well, at this point, I must thank you very much, Kunle, for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure to be here, Brownson.
Welcome back. Now, with that is a wrap on our show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it from the beginning up to this point. But I mean, the show will not be complete. We will also want to hear from you. Follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen right now. Feel free to drop a comment, and also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel to watch previous episodes. Thank you very much for being a part of this today. My name is Brownson Uwana. Enjoy the rest of your day.